بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا مولانا رسول الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. As you just noticed, alhamdulillah, in the prayer I was reciting Surah Al-Qiyamah because we're done with the tafsir of Surah Al-Muzammil, and today inshallah we're starting Surah Al-Qiyamah. Before we start the tafsir of Surah Al-Qiyamah, I would like just to say that please, again, every time I say this at the beginning of every surah, your intention, our intention, renew your intention, why you're here and why you're listening to this lecture, why I'm talking now to you. I have to ask myself, and why do you have to sit down in front of me and listen? Because of what? You ask yourself, inshallah, you will find the answer. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward us for these minutes, inshallah, that we spent together. Allahumma ameen ya rabbil alameen. Brief introduction in Surah Al-Qiyamah. Surah Al-Qiyamah, what's the meaning of the word Al-Qiyamah? Before we start the surah, the word Al-Qiyamah comes from the word Qiyam. And I remember when we were in elementary school, once the teacher comes into the class, the first thing he says is Qiyam. The first thing the teacher says when he comes into the class is, especially in Egypt, I don't know about other Arab countries, Qiyam means stand up to greet the teacher. So he says Assalamu alaikum in a normal tone like this, and we go Wa alaykumus salam, like very slowly like this. And then kayfa haluka ya, we're just asking how are you, Ustaz, but in this tone, like we're making it very slow. Anyways, he says qiyam, stand up. So the word qiyamah comes from this root, stand up, to rise, to get up. Because people in the last hour, they will rise, they will get up from their graves to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on Ardul Mahshar. Ardul Mahshar, the land of gathering. So that's why Al-Qiyamah is one of the names of the last hour. Because we will all stand up and rise from our graves. So obviously this surah is addressing Yawm Al-Qiyamah. And that's why Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu says, من سأل عن يوم القيامة أو أراد أن يعرف حقيقة القيامة فليقرأ سورة القيامة. Whoever wants to know about the last hour and what will happen on the day of Qiyamah and about the different types of people on the day of Qiyamah, the believers and the disbelievers, it will be hard on some people and easy on some other people, let him recite Surah Al-Qiyamah. You have a Muslim friend and you're discussing with him some spiritual matters and you got to speak about Yawm Al-Qiyamah, let him recite the translation of Surah Al-Qiyamah, chapter 75. Not to scare him. It's actually to teach him something that he was discussing with you. And when we speak about Yawm Al-Qiyamah, we're not trying to scare anybody. We will know now why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aslan is talking to us about Yawm Al-Qiyamah. In the first two ayat, we'll understand why aslan we have in the Quran something about the graves and the day of Qiyamah is just to scare people. It's not to scare people. There's another reason that we will understand now in the first two ayat inshallah. Surah Al-Qiyamah is the 31st surah that was revealed on Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam after Surah Al-Qari'ah. Al-Qari'ah mal-Qari'ah wa ma adraka mal-Qari'ah, wa Surah Al-Humazah, waylun likulli humazatin lumazah. Al-Qiyamah was between them in the revelation, but in the Mus'haf it's number 75. We just finished Al-Muzammil number 74. Also Surah Al-Qiyamah addresses the topic of resurrection. إذا كان اسمها Al-Qiyamah يبقى لازم تكون بتتكلم عن resurrection. If its name is Al-Qiyamah, it has to address the issue of Qiyamah, resurrection on the day of Qiyamah, and the possibility of this. So let's start now with the first ayah. قال الله لا أقسم بيوم القيامة. Even Arabs, when they read this ayah, they will get confused. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swearing by Yawm al-Qiyamah or not? He's saying La. La means no. And then he says, I swear by the day of Qiyamah. Does it mean I swear by the day of Qiyamah or I don't swear by the day of Qiyamah? We have La here. We have two letters. We can't remove them from the Mus'haf. Is it a qasam? Is it an oath Allah is taking or not? The scholars say, we have three opinions. And look how deep they went in the study of the Quran. And it's an example of what we were discussing yesterday about the mujtahidun and the conditions of a mujtahid. To be able to be a mujtahid and drive the rulings from Quran and Sunnah, he needs to have tools. This is one of the tools to understand Arabic language. The first look tells you something, but if you go in depth, it tells you something else. The first opinion, Imam al-Alusi says, the word La, when it comes in Arabic language before an oath, it's used to emphasize the qasam more and more. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talked to Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, He said, the believers, Ya Muhammad, can't be believers until they make you a judge between them in any disagreement. He didn't say, فَوَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. By your Lord, they don't believe until they make you judge. He said what? فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. It means he wants to emphasize the oath more, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when he says, لا أقسم بيوم القيامة, it means he's emphasizing more that he is taking an oath with the day of Qiyamah. The second opinion, Imam al-Qurtubi says, لا هنا تتكلم عن شيء آخر. هذا رد على كلام المشركين. وبعد كده القسم جملة جديدة. Imam al-Qurtubi says, لا here, these two letters, is a response for the disbelievers' denial to the last day, because they came to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they were challenging him. Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala going to resurrect us after we die? And then the response came, whatever they said, Ya Muhammad, is wrong. La. Point, the statement is done now. And then a new statement, أقسم بيوم القيامة. I swear by the day of Qiyamah. That's the second opinion. The third opinion, لا أقسم بيوم القيامة, is I don't swear with the day of Qiyamah because I don't need to swear by the day of Qiyamah to tell you that resurrection is possible. Like it's obvious enough that everything has an end. Every human being dies. If you have the newest car, it will come to an end. You will leave the car or the car will leave you. So everything, it's the way of Allah in this world, that everything has an end. So it's obvious enough that this world is going to end, so I don't have to swear. لا أقسم. خلاص? So we have three opinions now. These are two letters from the Quran. يعني, this example tells us that there is no حروف زائدة في القرآن. There is no any letter in the Quran that has no importance. And that's why I say to my students in the Hifz class, most of them write the Quran with the add faz, فقال وقال, the add faz and wows everywhere in the Quran, and alifs and ya's. It makes a big difference. And then sometimes when we have time, explain to them the difference. This fa, when you add it to the ayah, or you take it off from the ayah, it makes a difference in meaning. So you need to fix it. Every letter in the Quran has a meaning. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to increase us in knowledge. Allahumma amin ya rabbil alameen. So that's لا أقسم بيوم القيامة. The second ayah that we have, again, ولا أقسم بالنفس. Now we know بقى. لا before أقسم, لا before the oath, before the qasam, it has one of three meanings. ولا أقسم بالنفس اللوام. And I swear, or I don't have to swear, by النفس اللوامة. النفس, the soul, اللوامة, the soul that always blames that person. Whenever he does something right, something good, why didn't you do more? And whenever he avoids doing something bad, why don't you avoid that more? I have a brother in this masjid. Every time he comes to me, it seems like he has one question. Actually, he has more than one question. But most of the time, he asks this one question. You know, Sheikh, always I feel I'm not good enough. I always feel I only come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when I need Him. Only when He gives me what I want, I come back to normal and I disobey Him and forget about Him again. He's not here today. You don't have to think about anybody who's sitting now. He's not here. This question, like, if he, for example, he asking me 10 questions, for example, 6 times is only this one question. And every time I tell him, Ya akhi, that's a very good feeling, aslan. That means your nafs is lawama. It's pushing you to be better. But be careful. Because if you go too extreme in this direction, you will become hopeless. Which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا يَيْأَسُ مِنْ رَوْحِ اللَّهِ إِنَّهُ لَا يَيْأَسُ مِنْ رَوْحِ اللَّهِ إِلَّا الْقَوْمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. People who become hopeless, only disbelievers are the ones who become hopeless from Allah's mercy. So be careful. It's good to blame yourself. It's very good to have this kind of nafs. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swore in the Quran by this kind of nafs that always blames you and pushes you to be better, it means it's something very good in Allah's sight. So that's good. But don't go too extreme. Don't become hopeless. And Imam al-Hasan al-Basri said, إِنَّ الْمُؤْمِنَ لَا نَرَاهُ وَاللَّهِ إِلَّا يَلُومُ نَفْسَهُ يَقُولُ مَا أَرَدْتُ بِكَلِمَتِي هَذِهِ وَمَا أَرَدْتُ بِأَكْلَتِي هَذِهِ. Ibn Kathir reported that Al-Hasan al-Basri said, the believer always blames himself. Why did I say this word? And why I'm sitting here? And why I'm going to eat this meal in that place now? And why I'm working in that company? And why? Just ask yourself, why you're doing this? That's a nafs al-lawama. This means you're a believer because you always question yourself. Now, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only swore by these two things? Yawm al-qiyamah and an-nafs al-lawama. Because He wants to tell us what's coming after. In the ayat, I made an oath now on something. That thing that I'm going to talk about now is very important for your nafs. If you want to fix your nafs, if I want to fix something in my nafs, for example, I have a little bit of arrogance. I don't know why, but some people, they have some arrogance. Why? I don't know. So I want to fix this arrogance. How to fix it? I'm very attached to this dunya because we love it. قال الله وتحبون المال حبا جما. How to fix it? Remember what's coming after. So what's coming after is very important for your nafs. That's what for our nafs. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose these two things, يوم القيامة and النفس اللوامة. What's coming after is أيحسب الإنسان ألن نجمع عظامه. I will not go into details. I will just give you the meaning of this ayah, and then next time, inshallah, we'll explain because it needs explanation. أَيَحْسَبُ الْإِنسَانُ أَلَّا نَجْمَعَ عِظَامَهُ. Does the human being think that we will not assemble, we will not gather and collect his bones again? Does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only collects bones? No, we're not going to be skeletons on the day of Qiyamah. We're going to be flesh and bones. We're going to be human beings. Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only use the word عِظَامَةً? Only the word the bones, that we will collect his bones. That's inshallah what we will know next time because of our time. The main purpose of this halaqah inshallah is to attend the recitation part, to correct our recitation. We have 2 ayat, we will recite 5 ayat only. Try to attend, it doesn't take a lot of time, maximum 15 to 20 minutes. Jazakumullahu khairan, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk, wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.